Barcelona Airport. I'm on my mobile device, so it's handheld, so if it's a little bit wobbly I apologise. And if you're listening to the podcast, there are planes going overhead because I'm at an airport, so my apologies for that. Can't do much about it. I did ask them just to put planes on hold for 20 minutes, but they didn't want to do that for some reason, I'm not quite sure. And I find myself, if you're watching live, in like some private area, which I'm pretty sure I shouldn't be in. But the gate was open, so here we are, away from the views of everybody else because I get embarrassed filming. But anyway, so what I wanted to cover was, I was in the car, here's a plane, that's awesome. So I was in the car on the way to Barcelona, and I was listening to Jordan Belforts' Straight Line Persuasion System. Now, I don't know if you've read that book, but if you haven't read that book, I would highly advise that you read that book. I wasn't reading because I was driving, but I was listening on Audible, and it's very good. But the problem with Audible is, you know, when you get to a really juicy bit, you can't stop and make notes. It's not like you can pull over and just make notes, sort of thing. But anyway, I don't, you know, it works. I get through the content. But one of the things that he was talking about was about building trust and credibility. You know, when you're trying to persuade someone to buy whatever it is that you've got, building trust and credibility is really, really important. And then that ties into what I was thinking about one of my clients, because at the moment they're not an Amazon bestseller, and a lot of my clients are Amazon bestsellers, including one of them who turned into an Amazon bestseller on like the same day for 2 books, which is pretty amazing. But when we're talking about building credibility and when we're talking about building trust, what are the things that you can utilize in your business right now that's going to help you do that? So one of the things is creating a podcast. You know, one of my clients found me on iTunes, he then searched for me on YouTube, and then by the next day he'd literally paid several £1,000s to be a client. There you go. You can't actually see the planes because I'm in this little square. You can't see them. You can see the reflection, so if I get a reflection I'll show you one. I know you've seen a plane before. But building a podcast, it's really simple to do. It doesn't take a lot. You can just create an audio, like we're going to extract the audio out of this, and that'll be one of our podcasts. And because oftentimes, like, the quality of the sound is important. We are mic'd up here. I don't know if you can see that on the YouTube live video that we're on, but we are mic'd up. But the quality of sound is kind of important, but the background sound isn't that important. It doesn't really matter what's going on in the background sound wise, as long as your voice comes through nice and clear. So like, I'm at the airport and I have no idea how this is going to sound with the planes going overhead, but I've got a microphone on, so my voice should actually probably go over and above what the sound of the planes is doing. But anyway, we'll pull out the MP3 out of this video, and then that goes into one of my podcasts. And so it gets really easy to start creating content, because all you got to do is go YouTube Live, Facebook Live, whatever it is that you're going to do. And then you pull out the content and off you go. So there's your podcast, there's your video, almost instantly. And then what you can do is you could go get 10 of your best podcasts, or even, let's say 12 of your best podcasts, okay? And then you've got 1 chapter per podcast. And so you just go and get it typed up, use a company like Rep, I think it is, and it's $1 a minute. So if it's 60 minutes of a podcast, it'll cost you $60. That's a really easy way for you to go and get your book written. Now, one of my good friends actually has a 100% record, because it's not enough just getting a book out there. She's actually got a 100% record of getting Amazon bestsellers, as she's done all of my clients that have got Amazon bestsellers. All of them who've written books have become an Amazon #1 bestseller. And so we put them all through this lady, and that's who we use. And we do that for a particular reason, because being able to stick that sticker on your book, Amazon #1 bestseller, makes such a big difference. And when we're talking about building credibility, this is one of the problems, by the way, of doing a podcast and audio at an airport outside. But building credibility, there's only really 3 ways of doing it. It's building using video, it's building using audio, and it's building using stuff that people can read. They're the only 3 ways that people can take in your information. So if you're not doing that, then what else are you doing? How are you putting yourself out there? Your reach simply isn't big enough.
So you've got to be reaching out and find a way of finding more people that can listen to what you do, watch what you do, and read what you do. It's not, we don't live in a newspaper world anymore. You've got social media for that. We don't live in a TV world anymore. We've got YouTube for that. We don't live in a radio world anymore. We've got podcasts for that. And unless you're utilising all of those systems, you're not going to get the reach and you're not going to close as much business. So look, if you wanted to talk to me about the book thing, if you want to be an Amazon #1 bestseller, just drop me a message down below and I'll put you guys in contact. All right, that will do for me. A little bit fed up of all the planes going over the top. So no coffee for me this morning because we're at an airport and I don't drink their stuff. But maybe tomorrow we may be on the coffee. All right, guys, speak to you soon. Take care.